everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Smita. Welcome to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be an in-depth skin prep as well as makeup on brides. This is everything that I personally used to do on brides to keep their skin looking really fresh and nice and smooth throughout the day and their makeup long lasting. So if you're a bride-to-be who's planning to do your own makeup on your big day, or if you're a makeup artist working on different brides and you want to know how to do step-by-step skin prep as well as makeup, then this tutorial is for you. So if you want to know how to look your best on your big day, then please keep on watching. And if you're new here, please take a moment to subscribe. I post new videos every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And now without further ado, let's begin. When I used to consult with brides, I used to start their skin prep a day before their wedding day. Make sure to thoroughly wash your face with lukewarm water and then use a face mask. I've recently started to use Pure by Priyanka. They have some amazing products. Today I'm going to be using the Rose Blush face mask, where they also have Upton, which is amazing on brides, and they also have a detox face mask. They have different varieties actually, and I'm going to link their website in the description box below. And this Rose Blush face mask that I'm using today can be used on all skin types. It has willow bark extracts, which is a natural BHA. So that'll help to resurface your skin. You can start using this a couple weeks before your wedding and then make it a part of your maybe your nighttime routine or even your daytime routine. With that, it also helps to hydrate, tone, cleanse, as well as gently exfoliate your skin, adding to that beautiful glow, which I believe every bride should have. I'm going to keep it on for about 15 minutes and then rinse it off with water. And then I'm using the Luxurious Glow Serum, again by Pure by Priyanka. This will help to hydrate and revitalize your skin without feeling greasy. And this will help especially if you have dark spots, dark circles like me, or hyperpigmented skin. So again, you can start using this a month or two in advance and then make it part of your lifestyle. It's important to keep your lips chapped-free and hydrated. So I'm going to be using a lip balm by Tatcha. You can also use coconut oil, you can use ghee, you can use Vaseline, or you can use any lip balm that you have. That's pretty much it for the previous night. I keep it very simple. You don't want to be putting too much on your face and causing any breakouts or acne or irritating your skin. You just want enough to prep your skin for the next day. For the next day morning, before you do anything on your face, make sure you're wearing a comfortable t-shirt or a robe where you can easily take it off. I'm wearing this t-shirt, which is very stretchy, so it doesn't interfere with my makeup or hair. I'm starting with an exfoliator. I'm going to be using exfoliating 5-piece from GoTo. These are very gentle and they are individual pads, so they are very easy to use. You can use any exfoliator that you have, but try to keep it very gentle and simple because again, you don't want to be irritating your skin early in the morning. But it's important to exfoliate because we all have dry and dead skin sitting on the top layer, and when you apply foundation, it can start looking cakey. So to avoid that, it's important to exfoliate. And then I like to lightly ice and massage the face. You can use regular ice, just put it in a towel or a piece of cloth and use it on your face. I'm using the 4th ray globes. I just keep it in the fridge for about 30 minutes, then I use it on my face. This will not only help to reduce any inflammation that you have on your face, but it'll also help to control any sweating or any excess oils from your face, hence making your makeup long lasting. I usually massage for about 5 to 10 minutes before I start the makeup. That way the face is relaxed and you also enjoy the process. For an instant boost of hydration, I'm going to start with the Fruit Tonic Mist, again by Pure by Priyanka. And then I'm going to follow up with a moisturizer. This is the Buttercream by Pure by Priyanka. This is a ghee-based moisturizer. This is made from avocado butter, saffron, mango butter, as well as rose extracts, and smells heavenly, and it'll keep you fresh and hydrated throughout the day. And for eye cream, I'm going to be using the Silk Peony by Tatcha. You guys know I absolutely love this and I've been using this forever. This will instantly take care of all the dryness around your eyes. And especially when you apply concealer, you can see a huge difference. It's not going to settle in those fine lines, or it's not going to crease in those dry areas. Everything is going to look really smooth. And on my lips, I'm going to be using the Rose Lip Balm by Milani. For primer, I'm going to be using the Benefit Professional, which is one of my favorite primers. This is not only going to fill in all those pores and fine lines and smoothen out your skin, so when you apply your foundation, it's going to glide on smoothly, but it's also going to make anything that you apply over it stick longer because it has a little bit of tackiness to it, so that'll make your makeup long lasting. And this is when I'm going to be applying a sunscreen. The one that I'll be using is the Silken Pore Perfecting Sunscreen, which has an SPF of 35. And this one's from Tatcha. You can use any sunscreen that you have, but make sure to apply a thin layer because applying a lot of sunscreen or using foundations with sunscreen can give you flashbacks. So keep that in mind. But at the same time, if you're having a daytime wedding outdoors, then it's very essential to apply a sunscreen. And now your skin is completely prepped for the makeup. Now for the makeup, I'm using the Concealed palette from Coastal Scents. I'm just using a peach corrector in areas where I have hyperpigmented skin and dark circles to color correct. Then I'm going to very lightly dust some translucent powder on top of this to set it. The one that I'm using is from Too Faced. You can use whatever you have. This will help to kind of absorb the powder into the color corrector, set it, and not mix with the foundation that's coming up next. For foundation, I'm going to be using a stick foundation today. This is the Faux Filter Foundation by Huda Beauty, and I'm in the shade Butter Pecan, and for reference, I'm an NC35 with MAC. And you can see that shade matches beautifully on my skin. The reason I love this foundation is because you can go from light to full coverage. It's buildable and you can customize it to however you want. If you want a lighter coverage, you can go for a lighter coverage. If you have flawless skin, you don't need too much foundation. If you want to cover some of those blemishes and if you want your skin to look flawless, you can go for a more fuller coverage. It glides on smoothly and it blends like a dream. It's fragrance free, so it's not going to give you a headache, especially on your wedding day. It's transfer proof, waterproof, humidity and sweat resistant, so it's perfect for a wedding. And just so you know, I'm using a dry sponge to blend this out. The sponge is from Amazing Cosmetics. And the reason I'm using it dry is because they work better with stick foundations. It's easier to blend it out. And then it gives you more coverage because it's not going to absorb as much product. Now I'm going to start adding some dimension to the face. So I'm going to start with a cream contour. And for that, I'm using the Makeup Forever Concealer in the shade Chocolate. You can use any deep shade of concealer, or you can also use a cream contour. I'm mostly going to be using it in the circumference of my face as well as the hollows of my face. Just to suck it in and give more dimension. And to blend it out, I'm using a flat top kabuki brush, and this one's from Hip Dot. And now to conceal and highlight, I'm going to be using Milani concealers in two different shades. Let's start with concealing in areas where I have dark circles and dark patches. For that, I'm using the Milani concealer in the shade 145, which is a closer match to my skin tone. I'm mostly using it around my eyes to cover the dark circles as well as around my mouth because that's where I have some discoloration. And I'm going to quickly blend it out with the same sponge that I used for my foundation. Now, because I used it on my lids, it also becomes a base for the eyeshadows that's coming up next, but you're welcome to use an eyeshadow primer. I personally prefer a concealer because it is more opaque and it gives me more coverage on my lids. And now to highlight the high planes of my face, I'm using a lighter shade of concealer from Milani. This is in the shade 135. Make sure not to use a lighter shade of concealer directly on your discolored skin because it's going to start appearing ashy. It's going to mix with the blue blue undertones of your skin, and it'll start appearing gray, and you obviously want to avoid that. So always use a color corrector or a concealer that's a close match to your skin tone first to neutralize everything, and then use a lighter shade of concealer to highlight. If you haven't watched my concealer video, which is in-depth explaining how different concealers can completely change how you look, I'm going to link that right on top. I'm going to quickly set my face with the translucent powder, starting with areas where I applied the concealer to prevent it from creasing, and then lightly go over my entire face. I'm just using the same sponge that I used to blend out the foundation, and I'm going to gently press it all over my face till the foundation absorbs the powder and sets. And to lock my base makeup so the makeup doesn't move, I'm going to be using a setting spray. This is the Pretty Fresh setting spray by Colourpop. Instead of spraying it directly on the face, I'm going to spray it on a dry sponge, completely saturating it, and then lightly press the sponge around my face so I set my face. This will not only set your makeup and make it long lasting, but it'll also absorb that excess makeup that's sitting on the surface, melt all the powders, and make your makeup look more like skin and natural. Moving on to the brows, I'm using a pomade today. This one's from Ofra and it's in the shade Khaki. First, I'm going to be using a spoolie brush to brush my brow hair downwards so I can clearly see on top. And using an angled brush, I'm going to fill in the top portion of my brows. And then using the spoolie, I'm going to brush my brow hair upwards so I can clearly see at the bottom, and then I'm going to shape it and fill in the sparse areas. By doing so, you're not leaving any stones unturned. You're filling in all the sparse areas, at the same time giving your brows a good shape. And then to hold my brow hair in place, I'm going to be using a brow setter from Almay. It's just more like a setting gel that you use on top of your brows, so your brows maintain the shape throughout the day. For eye makeup today, I'm going to be using one of my favorite palettes for Dulhans. This is the Kashi's Ruby palette. It has all the neutrals, all the shimmers, everything that we want on a bride, basically. Now, because soft glam is what's trending with the brides these days, I'm going to be creating a really soft halo eye with this palette. And I'm going to add some pizzazz by adding beautiful pressed glitter right in the center of the lid. So I'm first taking this brown eyeshadow with a small blending brush. I'm going to simply place it in the outer corner, inner corner, and blend it out and soften it. And to soften the edges, I'm using a larger blending brush. This one is the Sigma E40, and I'm going to simply buff it out at the crease. I'm going to be using the same eyeshadow in my lower lash line with the smaller blending brush, and I'm going to smoke it out to get that softer effect. With the same small blending brush by Colourpop, I'm going to dip it into this black eyeshadow, and I'm going to repeat the previous step. I'm going to use it in the outer and inner corners, and then I'm going to buff it out so it blends into the brown eyeshadow. By using very less black eyeshadow, it mixes with the brown and it gives you almost like a deeper shade of brown in the very outer corners. And as it moves upwards and outwards, it becomes lighter and lighter, giving you that beautiful ombre, eventually melting into your skin tone. I'm using the larger blending brush one more time to make sure everything is buffed out and really soft so we don't see any harsh edges. Next, I'm going to dip into this beautiful copper gold eyeshadow with a flat shader brush, and I'm going to apply it right in the center of my lid, blending it out in the edges. These eyeshadows are very pigmented, so I'm just using a dry brush to apply it, but you can also use your finger if you prefer. And then using the blending brush, I'm going to buff out the edges so there's a seamless blend. And then from the Boss palette from Hip Dot, I'm taking a gold pressed glitter and I'm going to lightly apply it right in the center of my lid. This is a pressed glitter, so you don't need an adhesive to apply the glitter. You can apply it directly. Also, this glitter palette is completely sold out. I'm giving you other different options that are similar to this palette in the description box below. Using the liquid liner from Rare Beauty, I'm going to pull out a wing as well as line my top lash line. And then to tightline, I'm using the cream gel liner eye pencil in black from Colourpop. And then with a little bit of black eyeshadow, I'm going to thicken my lower lash line using a definer brush. Using a highlighter from the Juno Bombshell palette, I'm going to highlight my inner corners as well as brow bones, and that's going to attract more light towards your eyes, making your eyes appear brighter. I'm going to finish up with some mascara and lashes, but before that I'm curling my lashes. For mascara, I'm using the Makeup Forever Excessive Lash Mascara. And for lashes, I'm going to be using Slay by Black Label. Once I've attached my lashes, I like to press it against my natural lashes, either by using a forceps or a curler like this one. This one's again from Black Label, but of course it's optional. You can also do it with your fingers. And then I'm going to finish up with a coat of mascara in my lower lashes. As simple and as easy it was to pull this eye makeup look, it looks absolutely stunning in person, and it draws so much light, so much attention towards your eyes. Your eyes instantly look more attractive, much bigger and brighter. Now let's finish the rest of the face. I'm just using a little bit of translucent powder under my eyes just to brighten things up a little bit, because that area can become dull after eye makeup. You can also use a banana powder. To bring back some warmth into the face, I'm going to be using the Juno Bombshell palette to sculpt my face. I'm going to start with the bronzer, mostly using it in areas where I contoured my face. I love this palette because you have everything in this to sculpt your face. You can add a rosy blush. It has 2 radiant highlighters, a neutral contour shade that can be used on any skin color and type. I especially like this on the go because I don't have to carry multiple palettes, one for blush, one for highlighter, one for contour. This has everything in it. And then I'm going to be applying the blush using a powder brush from Wet n Wild. And I like to place the blush on the higher points because that gives you a more lifted look. Next, I'm going to be using the highlighter to get a beautiful throughout the face glow. And because I want that highlighter to almost look like you're glowing from within, I'm using a very soft, large blending brush, again from Wet n Wild. After I've used all the products, I like to run my powder puff ones all over my face to remove some of the excess product. You can most definitely go for a classic red lip. I've done so many bridal looks with red lip. Today I'm going for a softer look, so I'm going to be going for a softer red. This is Velveteen Liquid Lipstick by Folklore in the shade V06. And then to perfect the borders, I'm using a skin color concealer, the Milani shade in 145. And I'm using a flat concealer brush around the borders of my lips. I'm going to quickly change into my outfit and jewelry, and here is the completed look. I hope this tutorial was helpful to all of you who are getting married this year. Congratulations. And to all the makeup artists who will be working on your brides. I hope you could learn a thing or two. If you want to know more about any of the products that I use, they're all listed in the description box below, along with my social media links. In case you plan to recreate this look, or if you want to follow me there, you'll find the links there. And if you're new here, please take a moment to subscribe. I post new videos every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. As always, I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye, guys.